Hey guys, it's your girl Esha here with Events by Ashe, where we plan unique and life-changing Caribbean experiences, such as Ultimate Trinidad Carnival, Ultimate Cropover, and other experiences. And today I am going to talk about how I wrote my book. So in case you didn't know, I am actually a two-time author. The first book I co-wrote with about 14 or 15 women, and it was the result of a telesummit that we did in 2018. And we got all of the teleseminar videos and recordings transcribed, and that became an international bestseller. And I'll put links in the video below. But also, I authored my own book, Carnivalista Lifestyle. And that was released earlier this year in April 2019, April 1st, 2019 actually. And that was a wonderful experience. Both experiences were really wonderful. But before I get into how I wrote my last book, if this is the first time that you're watching my video and being on my channel, welcome. And be sure to like, subscribe, and comment on this video if there was anything that you heard that you liked, or if you have any questions for me about my book writing process. I would love, love, love to connect with you. Now back to the writing of the book. So first of all, this book is going to be mainly on the writing process, and I'll talk a little bit about the publishing process. Of course, I am definitely not an expert in any of these areas, guys. I'm just sharing with you what worked for me, and hopefully it will work for you. The second thing that I want to mention is I'm not going to go into the marketing of your book, because this is a totally different kettle of fish, and again, I'm definitely not an expert, and I'm trying to figure out book marketing myself still. Once I have that figured out, I'll be sure to shoot another video. Okay. So let's get into how I wrote my book. So the first thing, of course, was I had an idea. You know, pretty much all book authors get this idea, or they get several ideas. In my case, it was really just one. And it was about the Carnivalista lifestyle and my journey as a Carnivalista, and how that has contributed to my joyous self-development. So I had the idea for the book for a really long time, and would jot down notes here and there, but I didn't really get into the serious writing of it and the serious intention of becoming a published author until I set that intention in January of 2018. And once I set that intention, as you know, it happened twice. But setting the intention is always really, really important. Having an idea about what you want to write is really important as well. Don't get into the specifics, just make sure that you have a solid idea. You have a few ways that you think you can flesh that out a little bit. Once you get into the writing process, at least that's what worked for me. Once I got into the writing process of it, that's when everything kind of flowed, So first of all, you want to make sure that you have a really great idea. The second thing is, once you have the idea, is how do you go about capturing those ideas that you have, that flow, and make it into something that is writable and readable by somebody. So what really worked for me, I'm a really big time blocker. So as an entrepreneur, I have to block my time and make sure that I'm devoting the amount of time that I need to all of the tasks that I need to get done. So where marketing is concerned, like shooting this video right now, I blocked my time. So I just did the same thing with my book. I would block time throughout the day, or once a day, at least once a day, when I was in the deep process of writing the book, to make sure that I dedicated that time to writing. And I would just, first of all, I started jotting down what I thought the chapter should be about. So since it was about Carnivalista lifestyle, I wanted to relate each chapter back to Trini sayings, that I grew up hearing from my mom and from my other family members. So that was really what I did first of all. I made sure that each idea, each chapter had a title that was linked to a Trini saying, or linked to a carnival experience that I could write in Trini. So that was really the first thing that I did. So I blocked my time, made lists of the chapters, as you want to call them, and then fleshed out each chapter in those blocks of time. Now, I got blocked several times while writing this book. I got writer's block, the dreaded writer's block. And what I did to bust through that block was use my voice to record any free-flowing kind of streams of thought that I had. And then I kind of looked at those transcribed notes and then organized that and formulated that into the chapters. So that really helped me to bust through any writing blocks. I found if I was able to talk about it and verbalize it, record my voice, and or speak into like my phone, into Evernote. I use Evernote a lot when I get blocked, and it would transcribe my thoughts, and then I kind of go back and look at it and say, oh, that was interesting, and then see if I can organize that into a written form that made sense, and how did that fit into any of the chapters that I had ideas about. So that was the other thing that I did to go through the writing process. Now, the third thing that I did was that I asked for help. As I said, I am not an expert writing person. I am not an expert author. I knew that I would need help with the publishing, and I also knew that as a business owner, I didn't have time to do it myself and learn how to do it myself well. So I asked everybody that I knew, do you know anybody who helps with publishing books? And I did get an amazing resource, Divya Parekh. And I will definitely list some links to how to get in touch with her, but she is amazing at the publishing process. She works with her team to get that done. However, what she is also amazing at, and I didn't even think I knew that I needed this, was organizing the book into a flow that made sense, and formalizing the story and really crafting the story of the book. She is excellent at that. So we had a VIP day together, and we pretty much went through every single chapter that I had written, you know, laid it out on the wall, because I'm a very visual person and Divya is as well. So we laid it out on the wall, made sure that it flowed nicely, that there was a continuation of a story that was going. And then were there any gaps? Were there any gaps, any chapters that I needed to write additionally that could make the story flow better? And yes, there were, I think, 2 to 3 chapters that Divya thought would really fill out the book. So I wrote those. I got blocked, of course, had to use my voice note, but I did finally write them. And that was really what I did. I really asked for help throughout the process, and Divya was fantastic in filling in that need, which was great. And then finally, through the asking for help process, I did go through the publishing process with Divya, and I'm so glad that I engaged somebody else to do that for me. And you don't have to, guys. I mean, publishing your book is not going to cost you much if you wanted to do it yourself, if you have the time to do that. Just hire a graphic designer. You can get those pretty cheaply on Fiverr.com or on Upwork.com. I will link the graphic designer that I worked with, and I work with on all of our graphics in the notes here to this episode. And then you can just go to Kindle Publishing and, you know, do it yourself if you wanted to publish it on Amazon. Or you can go after any of the publishing houses or hire yourself an agent. You know, these are things that you can do on your own. I just knew for me, I would not have the time to do that as a business owner. You know, I have enough on my plate from a business perspective and planning our amazing trips for our clients. I knew that I wanted to work with somebody. So Divya, again, she works with the team, did it all for me. And yeah, at the end of it, you know, I had a book that was ready to go, and we just had to pick a publishing date, you know. There were a few bits and pieces that I honestly didn't think of that Divya luckily has the expertise in, you know, little graphics to go above each chapter, you know, how to list out the chapters, how to format, you know, her team does all of that within the Kindle publishing system. So yeah, I didn't even have to think about that. She did all of that for me. I just need to provide the graphics, provide the content, and she pretty much did everything else. So that's where the asking for help piece was really huge for me after creating all of the content and, you know, working with my graphic designer and all of that. It was just seamless, which was great. Okay guys, and that's how I wrote my book. My goodness. Hopefully you like this video. If you have any questions about my process, you know, how I wrote my book, or any questions about anything I mentioned in this video, definitely leave them below. Please like, subscribe to my channel. I definitely want to put out more videos like this for you guys. So if you leave comments and let me know that you want to hear more about my book and process and all that stuff, I'm more than happy to film any of these videos for you. And yeah, check out my other videos. And as always, till the next line, it's your girl Esha.